we always spend a lot of time scripting these early practices, and not only how the practice format will go, but for me, I always work hard to get just the right rep for just the right quarterback, making sure everyone gets the not equal opportunities, but everyone gets opportunities at all the different concepts. Sometimes when you're scripting ahead, you're guessing how well a guy will handle it, because as you go through a couple practices, you watch the film, the video after practice, you say, hey, I got to get David another rep at this, or Michael needs another rep. And so you don't always know how they're going to perform going in, but I spent a lot of time in every year trying to figure that out. And so last year we had a different issue, trying to make it more even for guys who were competing to be the starter, and then now just with different guys, it's a different issue. There are a lot of unknowns when it comes to a player that I've never seen throw in person. I've seen video of Philip throw, but I've never seen him throw in person. And coaching in the NFL, I learned a long time ago that it's critical to see a guy throw in person to evaluate him. Just how does that ball come out of his hand? And so there are a lot of unknowns in that area. There are a lot of things I know now much better than I have for the 2 other years that I've sat before you. And that's going to be with Michael and David, not only in the game reps that they've had, but then going through the spring with them, and just learning them as what kind of people they are, what kind of learners they are. I think after you work with a guy for so long, just like in any area, you would have a student and you can interact with them, a phone call, you can get so much out of their feedback. And so I feel very confident. I have great faith in the kind of summer that those 2 guys had, just based on knowing them. And so much more that I know this year. Of course, all the questions are about the one thing I don't know. But I've spent a lot of time so far, grueling time, trying to get the reps just right. But then I just have to leave it open after a certain amount, because then as we evaluate where they are, we'll just proceed in that direction. I remember sitting here last year saying, well, we'll just let it play out on the field. It's easy to say that. Sometimes it's hard. I think I believe when we got to the first scrimmage last year is when I felt very clear that David Watford should be in the mix as a true freshman. Based on watching him out on the field, without a coach being on the field, and how he handled himself. He was only about, if I remember correctly, I think he was only about 50% completion in that scrimmage. So it wasn't that he just went lights out. It was more the way he carried himself. I felt like he saw the field. I felt like the speed of the game he was up to the speed of the game in his first real scrimmage. And I said, okay, he's got to be in the mix. And so it could be that the same thing happens at that first scrimmage. We can make a delineation. But going back, gosh, if I'd seen that in the 3rd practice, I'd have made the change then. But you don't always know when it's going to happen. I feel great about the 2 guys that they've returned for us, and knowing what I know about them. I feel excited about what I've learned of Philip Sims, and I feel great about both of our incoming freshman quarterbacks. Of course, you all know Grayson because he was here in the spring, and Matt Johns joins us this summer. And we spent a lot of time recruiting those guys. We felt like they were the right guys to come and continue to be the future quarterback position here, and I think we're in good shape.